And there we heard from the two head coaches in tonight's Turkish Airlines Euroleague final. There's Duda Ivkovic, and behind him, down the road from him, Jonas Kazlauskas. They faced off in the 1999 semifinals with Kazlauskas' Žalgiris team defeating Olympiacos and Ivkovic. They are back now for one bigger game, the title game of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. Starting in just a few moments, they will be fighting for the trophy that both of these guys won before. Ivkovic with Olympiacos in 1997, Kazlauskas with Žalgiris in 1999. So both of these men have been here and know what it takes, as do several players on their team. We get a look at the referees for tonight's game. Luigi Lamanic of Italy, Jose Martin of Spain, and Tolga Sahin of Italy. They will be holding the whistles for this very special occasion in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four title game. We will be followed live around the world on television in 174 countries and elsewhere through internet and social media, and more than 600 accredited journalists in attendance here at the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague 2012 Final Four. The stage is set. It belongs to CSKA Moscow and Olympiacos Piraeus, getting ready to tip off the final. George, final thoughts before we tip off.
Well, I think that both teams are ready and they just cannot wait for the tip-off to happen, Frank. You really want to get started, get the ball up in the tip-off and start playing. This is what it's all about. This is a knockout battle, fight for the title. That's it, Frank. 40 minutes or more for the big show.
Here we go. The players are coming on to the court. As we said last night, Andrei Kirilenko, CSKA Moscow, named the MVP of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague season. Joining him on the first team, Nenad Kirstic, who is also in the starting lineup, and on the second team, Milos Teodosic, a point guard for CSKA. A great season by them, rewarded at the FS EuroLeague award ceremony last night. They were joined on the first team by Vasilis Spanoulis of Olympiacos Piraeus.
Frank, if there's any question about fatigue, being tired, I think both coaches said it. Everybody is a little bit tired, but I think it just goes out of the window when the players step on the court. Let's remind our viewers that Teodosic played 32 minutes, Kirilenko 34 minutes for CSKA in the semifinal, whilst Vasilis Spanoulis played 33 minutes for Olympiacos. Those are only three players that got more than 30 minutes on Friday.
We are ready for the start of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague title game. In 40 minutes, if there's no overtime, we will have a champion of the 2011-2012 season. These teams have earned it. Now they have to play one more game to see whether CSKA Moscow or Olympiacos Piraeus of Greece will emerge tonight with a historic victory and the trophy celebration. It should be a great game. Here we go with the tip-off. The final has begun. The controlled by Olympiacos, Vangelis Mansaras with the ball. Passing off to Pero Antic and into the hands of Vasilis Spanoulis. He gets free, gets it to Pero Antic on the wing. Antic drives, a running shot off the backboard to get it started for Olympiacos.
That was a lucky shot by Pero Antic, but that just showed you how difficult the big guys of Olympiacos are gonna have it. He had a really difficult shot over Kirstic.
CSKA first possession, Shishkauskas on the wing, Kriapa, hands off to Milos Teodosic. Back to Shishkauskas. 6 on the shot clock, Shishkauskas drives, stops on the baseline, turnaround jumper, and that goes in as well. Both teams starting off with good shots.
That was a good play by Shishkauskas because he used patience and he used an advantage over Spanoulis. That is his height.
Mansaras bringing the ball up for Olympiacos. There's Pero Antic making his move to the basket, misses, and the rebound tapped out to Milos Teodosic.
And you saw that again, Kirilenko coming from the weak side and just bothering the shot of Pero Antic.
Teodosic launches from three off the backboard and out into the hands of Pero Antic.
That was a quick shot by Milos Teodosic.
Wanting to get going, missed the shot. The Spanoulis free, gets the ball to Dorsey, but he gives it up to Kirilenko, who's right in the right place at the right time.
That's the best as they get. Defensive stopper Andrei Kirilenko again with his active hands.
Kirstic in the paint, spins on Dorsey, misses the shot. and Dorsey comes up with the rebound.
That could be the crucial matchup of the game right there on the block, because CSKA is going to like to go to Krstic down low.
Nice spin move by Krstic, but he did not get the angle on the shot. Here's Spanoulis going cross court to Mansadas, and he goes inside to Dorsey, back to Spanoulis, working on Kriapa to Dorsey, misses inside again. Those big CSKA defenders, top shot blocking team in this league, bothering Dorsey in low.
All three shots on the inside bothered by CSKA shot blockers, and a lot of contact there, Frank.
2-2 score after 2 minutes in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague final. CSKA ball, Teodosic makes a move for the basket, misses his layup, and Dorsey has the rebound. Outlets to Mansadas. He tries to go to Pedoantic, but the ball is kicked. It will stay Olympiacos ball.
Frank, do you expect some easy baskets to be scored tonight? I don't think so. Look at the defense the players are putting on a defensive show so far.
But George, after seeing this, as you said, trouble inside, we saw Olympiacos attack against Barcelona as quick as possible the other night. They may go to that option tonight, get the easiest, quickest shot they can, and there's Vasil Spanoulis drawing the first foul on Ramunas Šiškauskas.
Well, Frank, I think they are trying, but just the CSKA defenders are everywhere. They are doing a really good job with the defense on perimeter. On the inside, they have such long players.
I know Antic got to the hoop once, but the defense made it before him. Here's Marko Kešel trying to get a shot off. The ball lands inside to Pedoantic and knocked out of bounds by Teodosic. Nothing easy so far, and I don't think anybody can expect it the rest of the night.
Nothing, absolutely nothing easy. There is ball, everybody's attacking it.
Spanoulis will inbounds for Olympiacos to Dorsey. Gets the ball, goes inside. This is to Kešel for a three-point try. That's off the mark. And CSKA controls the board.
Frank, I think if Jonas Kazlauskas called for great defense from the get-go, I think he got his wish granted, because CSKA is very, very focused defensively.
Kriapa on top. Tries to throw the ball over to Šiškauskas, but on the pass, he was pushed down below by Pedoantic.
But look at that, Frank. Pedoantic is pressuring the ball, and Victor Kriapa has 9 meters from the basket.
That's because Kriapa is one of the best passing forwards in the world. We saw that in the semifinal. And he let him stand out there, look over the defense and pass. It could be trouble. There's another foul, the push by Marko Kešel on Kirilenko.
And Marko Kešel did a very good job defensively in the semifinal, and so far, I think his main goal right now would be to provide some good minutes defensively on Andrei Kirilenko.
Teodosic swings it to Šiškauskas inside to Kirilenko baseline. Kirilenko harassed, moves the ball out to Teodosic and inside to Nenad Krstic. Krstic spins, he's sandwiched by 2 defenders and throws the ball out of bounds. So good defensive reaction by Olympiacos on the guy who is the top scorer for CSKA Moscow.
Immediately a double team, and such a quick one. Pedoantic just came over from the weak side and didn't get any chance to Krstic to shoot a shot.
Spanoulis with the ball out top for Olympiacos. He's going to launch it from downtown. He's going to hit a three-pointer. The one and only Vasilis Spanoulis.
Only he can do it, Frank. He proved to be invaluable for Olympiacos in the semifinal fight, and here he scores a big three-pointer.
He puts his team up 2-5, and now there's an offensive foul called on Victor Kriapa. The ball will be going the other way to Olympiacos, and they're shooting in the end where their fans are on their feet, likely to be on their feet making noise the entire ball game.
I think that Olympiacos really feeds off the energy from its fans. They are on their feet, as you said, and Frank, they are starting to believe.
It was amazing how Olympiacos, as an underdog, controlled the entire 40 minutes against Barcelona the other night, whereas CSKA came out, dropped behind 14 points against Panathinaikos, but had the wherewithal to make that up before halftime and then go the rest of the game and win by 2. Olympiacos gets it back to Spanoulis. He's going to take another jumper inside the three-point line. That's off the mark. And those CSKA rebounders pull it down. Šiškauskas.
They just cleaned the boards. There's 4 red jerseys there on that defensive rebound.
Teodosic on top, shadowed by Mansadas. He gets it to Krstic. And hands off again to Teodosic. Kriapa trying to go for Šiškauskas, stolen by Mansadas. Goes to Dorsey. He collects it after almost losing it. Dorsey going against Kriapa, backs him down. Can't get the shot off. His pass is deflected. Teodosic still ahead to Kirstich on the fast break. But he travels with the ball, so another quick turnover by CSKA.
That's difficult because Nenad Krstić was in full speed and he got the pass too early. I think they should have waited for 1 or 2 steps more so he got closer to the basket and then make the pass.
3 turnovers in less than 5 minutes for CSKA. They only average 13 per game. Spanulis swings the ball around to Pedro Anches, back to Mansadas on the wing. But that was called a 3-second violation in the lane, negating that shot by Mansadas. So a 3-pointer wasted on a 3-second violation by Olympiacos.
There were mistakes there on both sides, as you saw, Frank.
That's 3 turnovers each so far. 4 for CSKA, I'm sorry, and 3 for Olympiacos. 3 up out top for CSKA. Inside to Kirilenko, but before he can try to get a ball up, he's fouled by Vasilis Spanulis.
But you see how closely he is watched, Frank. He received the ball under the basket, a very good shooting position, and immediately he's fouled before he gets a chance to get a shot off. They just don't want him to get going, and that's understandable.
We have a 2-5 score after 5 minutes in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague final. It's been all defensive so far. The difference has been a 3-pointer by Vasilis Spanulis. And George, you gotta like his leadership qualities. We know that Andrei Kirilenko is a superb leader from the defensive end for CSKA. But Spanulis, as we saw the other night in the semifinal, with the ball in his hand, has a chance to lead even more, perhaps.
Well, I mean, we said it, they are just different players. Spanulis just has the ball in his hands most of the time, and he makes all the crucial passes and shots. While Kirilenko, he's incredible defensively. He's all around. His active hands, active feet. He's blocking the shot from the weak side. It is really difficult to get on the inside and shoot an uncontested shot if Andrei Kirilenko is on the floor.
And we've talked also, George, about the young guys. These 2 rosters are full of veterans, strong veterans at the top, but give opportunity to young players. The only one out on the floor so far, Vangelis Mansadas, great defensive player himself on the ball, already has 1 steal and seems to be harassing Teodosic.
Oh, he's doing a superb job. He's very light on his feet. He dances around like a butterfly. He is really good. I mean, you see how he stays in front of the ball. He plays on the verge of conservative and being aggressive. He just knows the fine line how to attack the ball.
That is why Duda Ivkovic has made him a starter in 14 out of his 18 games on the roster this season. Just turned 22 years old. He's got another 22-year-old just turned on the bench in Kostas Lukas, and 21-year-old Kostas Papanikolaou, who had a big game against Barcelona. On the other side, we're waiting to see Alexei Shved and Andrei Vorontsevich, both a little older, but young guys getting their first chance at this Final Four. CSKA ball, Kriap out top to Kirilenko to Teodosic. Teodosic takes pick and roll. He's got space. Tries to go to Kirstich. Another turnover.
That was a good defensive read there.
Mansadas gets it across half court to Spanulis. Spanulis working on Szyszkauskas. Gets around him. Goes back, fall back, shot off the rim.
That was a very difficult shot for Spanulis because Szyszkauskas is just so much bigger and he clearly bothered his shot.
No offensive rebounds in this game so far. 5 on the defensive end for CSKA and 3 for Olympiacos, so nobody's letting the other team get its shots back. It's 1 chance so far on every possession. Teodosic guarded by, he tries a shot and hits it from inside the arc, despite the good defense of Mansadas.
That was a veteran move. I mean, Teodosic just said, hey, I'm going to take this ball and show you that I can play one-on-one. Nice shot from the free throw line.
It's 4-5 with under 4 minutes left in the first quarter of this Turkish Airlines Euroleague final. And this foul is offensive as well, as Joey Dorsey gets caught moving on a screen that denies another shot chance for Marco Keshe.
That was some movement there on the screen. Of course, the picks by the big guys are very important for the shooters to get open. And Joey Dorsey, like we said, he's a mountain of a man. He set some big screens.
So CSKA Moscow looking for its first lead. They get the ball to Szyszkauskas and to Kirstich. Teodosic inside to Kirilenko. Does anybody work the inside passing lanes, getting open behind the defense better than Andrei Kirilenko?
Andrei Kirilenko is just superb playing without the ball, Frank. That's the key. He plays so well without the ball. He doesn't need the ball to create a shooting opportunities. He doesn't need screens. He just keeps cutting. And there, as a big target on the inside, he is such an easy target to hit.
Kirilenko draws that foul. Second on Marco Kesel and gets to the free throw line to tie this ball game up 5-5 as we see another of the youngsters of Olympiacos, Kostas Papanikolaou, come into the game. And Kirilenko puts his team ahead with 2 free throws. For the first time in this game, CSKA ahead, but they're starting much better than they did the semifinal the other night. Spanoulis out top. Goes to Antic. Hands off to Mansatis. Cross court to Papanikolaou. Aggressive in the lane, spinning, going for a shot off the board. There's the youngster, Kostas Papanikolaou.
And look at that, Frank. I mean, I was going to ask you a rhetorical question, how he's going to have an impact, if early on or not. And you see it right there, immediately catches the ball, goes to the basket, just like in the semifinal.
Shishkasis bringing the ball up court and handing off to Teodosic. It's Olympiacos back out in front, 6-7. Teodosic lobs to Kirstic. He's way under the basket. And he gets bumped from behind by Joey Dorsey. Let's see if that's
right.
Foul on Dorsey will be his second. That's not good news for Olympiacos.
That is not good, and he's going to have to go to bench, and he will be substituted by Kyle Hines, another bit undersized man.
Now we will see the incredible story of Kyle Hines, who's only 1.95 m, going up against bigger, taller men, some of them holding almost 20 centimeters on him all season long. But Kyle Hines does not back down against anybody.
Not at all, Frank.
He's 10th in the Euroleague this season in offensive rebounds, so he knows exactly what to do when he's faced with a bigger guy. But it's Kirstic putting CSKA ahead again at the free throw line, 8-7.
Of course, defensively, Hines is going to have to push out the big people of CSKA as far out of the basket as he can.
Spanoulis, Alexei Shved in the game, guarding him for CSKA. Gets the ball in the corner, it swings to Pedo Antic for a three-pointer off the rim, and there is Kyle Hines getting the rebound right away.
Good patience there by Olympiacos. Kyle Hines didn't rush anything on the rebound.
Spanoulis to Papanikolaou, makes his move, it's tipped by Kirilenko, he gets it to Hines. Spanoulis trying to break through the defense, it's stolen by Kirilenko, and CSKA's defense comes up with another one.
Great defense by CSKA, and Kirilenko is just everywhere.
Driapa inside to Kirstic, working on Pedo Antic. His hook shot misses, rebounded by Mansatis.
Good conservative defense there by Pedo Antic.
Mansatis to Kyle Hines, goes to Spanoulis out top. It's Spanoulis in the corner to Pedo Antic, misses everything and into the hands of Andrei Kirilenko.
That was a wild shot. I think Pedo Antic got an advantage in quickness against Kirstic, and he should have taken the drive against him.
Driapa on the wing goes right inside to Kirstic. He's fouled before he can get to the basket. Let's see if the first foul on Hines, which may not be the shooting foul, or called it on Papanikolaou coming from behind. Kyle Hines, foul is on Hines, and the shot was on the way, so Kirstic will return to the free throw line. As we said, he led CSKA in points, in the bonus, that's why they're going to the free throw line. He led CSKA in scoring with 14.3 points this season, and he went to the free throw line, fifth most attempts, or fifth most free throws made of any player in the Euroleague this season, almost 4 per game for Kirstic. He's got a chance to get those 4 right in this last couple plays.
And Frank, in the first game that they play in top 16 in Piraeus, Greece, Kirstic shot 12 free throws, so he was very active on the inside, just working hard for his position, and he was fouled a lot in that game.
He's a 78% free throw shooter, but missed the first one there. This one he gets back, so Nenad Kirstic, 3-4 from the free throw line, has CSKA ahead 9-7. And we see Giorgos Printezis come in the game for Olympiacos. So small lineup in there for Olympiacos. Kyle Hines is going to try a jumper from outside. That's off the mark. Rebounds loose and in the hands of Mansatis.
Did you see how hard Olympiacos goes after the boards with this quick lineup?
Only 2 offensive boards in this game so far belong to Olympiacos. There's a jump ball. It's Sasha Kahn also in the game for CSKA, fighting for that rebound against Kyle Hines.
That was good active hands by Sasha Kahn. He just checked into the game and slapped the ball away from the hands of Kyle Hines. You see it right there, just tied up on the floor. It's a loose ball, and the jump ball situation awarded to CSKA Moscow.
Mistake by Hines, taking advantage of CSKA.
Frank, it looks like CSKA is just picking up on the defense that they played against Panathinaikos, and they set the record with only 5 points they allowed to score Panathinaikos.
1 minute left, 1:10 in the first quarter. Sluka's in the game guarding Shved. Shved makes his move, tries to get it to Count. It gets away, and Count commits a foul as Sprinters just came up with a steal. So George, the low-scoring first quarter, that's for sure, 9-7 with a minute left. You see a lot of nervousness combined with a lot of tremendous defense.
Exactly, Frank. I think it's a perfect combination because the teams don't seem extremely nervous, but they are playing superb and alert defense.
6 turnovers each. CSKA only averages 13. Olympiacos the same, 13. So that can be attested to nervousness. Here's Hines. He gets it stolen again by Shved. Here comes CSKA the other way. Teodosic goes to Kidilenko in the corner. He's guarded and pulls it back out. A lot of good transition defense as well so far in this game. Teodosic on the loose. Makes it down the baseline, kicks out to Kriapa. He's at a launch from 3-point distance, and he misses. The ball last touched by Kostas Slukas.
He just could not control the ball right there. It was a long rebound. Kostas Slukas tried to chase it down, but he just could not hold on to the ball.
But surprisingly enough, with their rebounding or their height advantage, that's the first offensive rebounding for CSKA in this game, and we're almost at the end of the first quarter.
I think everybody, Frank, really pays a lot of attention just to boxing out.
Shved with the ball out top, working on Slukas. Shot clock and game clock are pretty close at the end of this first quarter. Shved, we've seen him one step past people. Great first step he has, especially in that semifinal. Here he goes with the screen by Count, working on Hines. He gets pushed by Hines on the way to the basket, so that's a little bit of trouble for Olympiacos with 2 fouls on Hines and 2 fouls on Dorsey, not to mention Marco Keschel.
This is not good, but you saw the strength of Alexei Shved, Frank. Did you see how explosive he is off the ball? I mean, he just took it right at Kyle Hines, and he could not stay with him. And you said it, Kyle Hines is very quick on his feet at 1.95 meters.
7 seconds left and a timeout on the floor with in the first quarter with CSKA leading 9-7, and Alexei Shved going to the free throw line with a chance to make it more. George, we had 2 games in the mid-60s in the semifinals. Strong defense, very, very physical, and of course this game started the same way.
Well, I mean, it tells you that both coaches are really asking their players to play defense. Both of them spoke about it before the game in the press conferences, and even the players acknowledge it. They say, hey, we cannot change too much about our strategy, but we really have to focus on defense as a team from the first second.
George, if this game continues at this pace, we heard Dusan Ivkovic saying that in comparison to Friday when he wanted to attack fast and maybe run against Barcelona, still won a low-scoring game. The team learned a lot. Do you think which team does this pace benefit if it stays low-scoring?
Well, I mean, this is difficult to say because I think both teams would like to run and score some easy baskets. If you're talking about Duda Ivkovic, I think he was pleased by the fact that they prevailed, that they managed to beat a great Barcelona team, even though they played a possession-for-possession slow-down game.
Alexei Shved coming back on court to take some free throws for CSKA Moscow. He's an 85% free throw shooter. Great shooter, this kid. We talk about his first step. He's the only player in the history of the Euroleague after 4 or 5 seasons he's had now to have a 50% career three-point percentage. So this guy can shoot from everywhere as well as drive the basket, although he misses his first free throw.
Oh, he could be a great one, Frank. A lot of potential.
That rattles in the second one and goes off the floor. He's replaced by number 18, Evgeny Voronov, who did not play in the semifinal. He commits a foul with 3.9 seconds left. That's what he's in there for, to stop that fast break by Olympiacos. They had a foul to give, CSKA did.
And now
Coach Gordon in the game also for CSKA for these last seconds.
Of course, now Coach Kazlauskas is signaling no more fouls.
Ball's loose. It's going to be Kyle Hines. It's going to be AC Law. Let's see if he got it off, but the shot didn't make it anyway. So AC Law entered the game, got a shot off, but that's where our first quarter ends with a 10-7 defensive struggle on the court at the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. Final four. CSKA Moscow with the lead, 10-7 over Olympiacos. While we take a break, there we saw a little bit of history between these two teams, but nothing more important than this game, their first Final Four game at all against each other, and for the trophy tonight. Here we go in the second quarter action with CSKA 10-7 over Olympiacos. Top scorer so far, Nenad Kirstic with 3 points for CSKA. Olympiacos small lineup. Pretend's is going to shoot from deep right at the start of the second quarter. Rebound ahead to Jamont Gordon. He saves it back, but AC Law has it. So they're breaking out the gates here in the second quarter. Law trying to go around Shved. Gets fouled by Alexei Shved. I don't know, George, we talked about who this favors, but if you're the underdog, which is Olympiacos, a close scoreboard, whether it's 4 points or less, is always staying in striking distance of the favorite.
I mean, that's what you're trying to do if you're an underdog. Just keep it as close as you can, and towards the end of the game, I think the favorite tends to get more nervous.
Another foul on Shved drawn by Slukas, and that too is interesting to the benefit of Olympiacos, because Shved was just on fire on Friday, and if he has trouble getting started, he can only help Olympiacos.
And he just gives completely different look to the offense of CSKA, because he is so quick, Frank. We saw him beat anybody in the EuroLeague on the first set.
AC Law to Slukas across to Papanikolaou. He gets in the lane, falling down, got the pass off, but he lost it, and it was knocked out of bounds by Jamont Gordon. So Papanikolaou with a heads-up play after he accidentally fell on his drive and kept the ball in his team's possession.
There is absolutely nothing for me tonight, Frank. I mean, it's been 10.5 minutes and I have not seen one easy situation for either of the teams. They are just contesting and challenging everybody on each play.
The ball will remain with Olympiacos. We see AC Law, who came in the final second of the first quarter. Of course, he was injured on a turned ankle in the semifinal. We didn't know if he would play, but there he is out there. We'll see how he's doing. Yorgos Printezis to the hoop, tries to get it to Kyle Hines. He goes out to AC Law, can't handle the pass, so it's another turnover. And I have to think that whether it's nerves or defense, the turnovers are piling up for these two teams. 8 each, George.
Look at that, Frank. 16 turnovers combined and 0 assists. That is an incredible ratio.
Especially when these teams do very well in both those departments. CSKA Moscow set the all-time EuroLeague record this season with 19.5 per game and had 25 or 26 in one of the games against Olympiacos. It was a different Olympiacos team, much more defensive than it was earlier in the season. Kirilenko baseline, can't get a shot, has to take a desperation shot. It misses, and the rebound fought forward by Sasha Khan. He draws the third foul on Kyle Hines. Big turn of events there. And Kyle Hines picking up his third foul.
Well, this could be a big complication for Olympiacos, because you already have Joey Dorsey sitting with 2 fouls on the bench.
Fed out top for CSKA. He's going to launch a three-pointer. That's off the mark, and the rebound to Slukas.
Kostas Slukas is a big guard, and I think he will need to help his big man with rebounding.
He goes right inside the Printezis on the post. Printezis working against Kriapa, gives it back to Slukas for a baseline jumper that misses, but Printezis has the rebound, trying to get the ball out. He gets fouled. Looks like Kirilenko gets hit with his first foul, I believe. Let's check on that. Kirilenko's first foul for him tonight.
But did you see that, Frank? They got an offensive rebound, and there was nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go for Georgios Printezis, so he just had to throw it out.
Even though you say that, George, Olympiacos, even with a small lineup out there for much of this time, is holding its own on the board so far.
Oh, absolutely. They are just giving it a lot of heart.
Printezis free inside, but he traveled before being challenged by Kirilenko from behind. Traveling called another turnover. You see Andrei Vorontsevich in the game for CSKA Moscow, as well as Pero Antic, who came in when Heinz got his third foul.
But good position defense there by Vorontsevich. He just used his body to body up Pritesis, and immediately Kirilenko came from the back and tried to bother Pritesis and caused him to travel.
With the quick shooter that Pritesis is, you have to do that. Here's Kirilenko at the other end. Gets the ball to Jamon Gordon going inside the count. Almost another turnover. Ball tipped. Shved comes up with it. Tries to go inside the count. Tip in by Andrei Kirilenko for the first basket of the second quarter.
Again, he is active. He stays with the ball and just brings it home.
AC Law on the wing working against Sasha Khan. He has a mismatch. Let's see what he does with it. Law had the ankle problem. Drives on Khan all the way to the basket. Misses. What a battle on a rebound. It was Vorontsevich up in the air tipping the ball, but he ran over Pero Antic to do it.
Pero Antic was trying just to tip the ball. And look at that right here. AC Law driving to the basket. It's a loose ball rebound. And right there, Andrei Vorontsevich just comes flying through the lane and hits Pero Antic, who was trying to tip it in. And this is the previous play. Look at Kirilenko. He stays there on the basket and he tips it back in. That's Andrei Kirilenko, active on both sides of the floor. That's what he does best. That's why he is the reigning MVP.
Kirilenko takes a seat on the bench as Milos Teodosic returns, as well as Ramonas Shishkauskas for CSKA, and Vasilis Spanoulis back in the game for Olympiacos. It's a 5-0 run for CSKA. They lead 12-7, but the defense has been the story in this game so far. Antic to Spanoulis, guarded by Jamon Gordon. Spanoulis tries to get through the double team. Ball's loose, another turnover. Shishkauskas ahead to Jamon Gordon in the corner to Vorontsevich, and CSKA pulls it out. Teodosic to Vorontsevich from the wing. He misses, and AC Law comes the other way for Olympiacos. Jitterbugging through the lane. The ball's loose again. It's Jamon Gordon. He's having trouble handling it. And pulls it out. Teodosic to Vorontsevich. And again, CSKA pulls it out to Shishkauskas. Wraparound pass. Shishkauskas to count. The easiest basket of the night so far.
That's what they needed, Frank. They just needed to calm down, make an easy play. And what's easier in basketball than pick and roll? If you do it properly, that's what you get, an easy shot.
Printz is trying to answer from downtown. That's a miss. And on the rebound, a foul on Shishkauskas. And he looks like young Kostas Papanikolaou got the worst of that. Look at that wraparound pass by Shishkauskas.
There was nobody on the help side. Nobody coming to help. The whole side was clear. Sasha Kaun just easy slam right there. Good play.
Shishkauskas wrapped that around two players. His own man named Pero Antic. But now Papanikolaou will go to the free throw line with a bonus situation, knock down a much needed point for his team, who've been having all sorts of trouble scoring midway through the second quarter.
This will be important because Olympiacos just cannot find a way to score, but right now after 3 minutes and 16 seconds, they are already in bonus, Frank.
Not only are they in bonus, but Spanoulis has drawn more fouls than any player in the Euroleague this season and made more free throws than any player in the Euroleague this season. So we'll see if that has an effect. 14-9, second quarter action. Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four. Teodosic to Kirstic for two.
Again, guard with the big man. Good cooperation with Nenad Kirstic, sealing his man, getting the ball in a good position and scoring easy twos.
Spanoulis out top for Olympiacos. Working on Vorontsevich. Gets it into Pritesis with a mismatch on Jamon Gordon. His little jumper comes out, his jump hook. And Teodosic with the rebound.
It's not easy to back down Jamon Gordon.
Straight inside to Kirstic. Backs in, doesn't get the shot. And Papanikolaou with the rebound. Spanoulis on the run, going right at Kirstic and finishes Vasilis Spanoulis.
How difficult is that shot? He just flies into Kirstic and attacks him. What a play there.
16-11, timeout on the floor. 6 minutes left to play until halftime in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final. One of these teams, CSKA Moscow, ahead 16-11, or Olympiacos will be a champion tonight after a long season of trying to get to this game. So far, it's been a defensive battle out here on the floor. The high scorer in this game is Nenad Kirstic with 5 points. He's matched by Vasilis Spanoulis of Olympiacos with 5 himself. Kostas Papanikolaou with 4 out there on the floor. And we're, at this point, CSKA's had a couple assists, and that is the difference. Remember, CSKA broke the Euroleague record since 2000 with 19.5 assists per game. They've only managed to get 2 so far tonight. Olympiacos 0. It's amazing how much the defenses are dominating, and the referees letting them play. It's going to be a defensive struggle, it looks like.
And I think a few times, Frank, the ball just bobbled out of the hands of the players there on easy situations. Sometimes they didn't catch the ball. So I would also say that the nerves are working right here. But truly a mind-blowing statistics. There's only 2 assists so far in the game. And if you compute how much they have in the season on average together, it's almost 34 assists. And right now they are standing at 2. And we have already played 14 minutes in the game.
Another factor, the block shots. We saw 1 block early in the game, but since then, Olympiacos has been getting some offensive rebounds, pulling the ball out, not risking the blocks, but they're not getting hurt too much around the rim with blocks just yet.
Well, I mean, CSKA is attacking the boards, but they are holding their own, as you said. But they have trouble with Hines with 3 fouls and 2 for Joy Dorsey.
Goran Savic on the wing for CSKA, gets it to Teodosic for an open 3. He knocks it down. Milos Teodosic has CSKA leading 19-11.
That was a good play set up at the timeout by Jonas Kozlauskas. Perfect execution and a 3-pointer for CSKA Moscow.
Printicius back to Spanoulis. Jamal Gordon doing a good defensive job on him. Spanoulis to Papanikolaou for a slam.
That was a perfect play. Penetration and kick and a strong finish by Kostas Papanikolaou. He likes that. Get it on the move and stuff it home.
What a cut by Papanikolaou. What a pass by Spanoulis. That could uncork. But here's Teodosic again from downtown. Same play, same shot, same answer.
He better not get going, because if he gets hot, that's big time trouble for Olympiacos.
22-13 for CSKA. Spanoulis to Printicius, around to AC Law. Baseline one-hander off the mark. Rebound by Nenad Kirstic.
That was a little bit of a weak shot. He shot it with his offhand, was penetrating to the baseline. Another 3.
Whoa! Teodosic is feeling it. He's got 3 3-pointers in a row. And CSKA Moscow ahead 25-13 on the scoreboard.
Look at that. 3 threes in a row by Milos Teodosic. He hit a key 3-pointer in the semifinal, and he's doing it early for CSKA Moscow.
George, he looked like he would have taken that at half court if they gave him the ball. Here they come, 3 in a row. Nice play to get him open on the first one. Same play. Teodosic again. Both of those rattled in. But once he knew he had his mark, look at him from way downtown on the third one. Nobody gets near him. And Milos Teodosic with 9 points in a minute and a half has turned the scoreboard around. It was a close game just a couple minutes ago. It's now 25-13 with 4:30 to play in the first half. CSKA exploding in the middle of the second quarter.
But Frank, did you see how far was the third one? I mean, he was coming down the floor with so much confidence. As you said, he would have taken it from the locker room.
Well, Milos Teodosic came to CSKA this year from Olympiacos. He had this team in the Final Four 2 years ago when he was the MVP of the Euroleague for Olympiacos. This year he switched teams and he has put some darts on his old team right there. 3 in a row. They know him better than anybody, but they couldn't stop Milos Teodosic from breaking out here in the second quarter.
And that's Vangelis Montsaris is getting back on the court. A clear defensive assignment for him just to stop Teodosic.
He did a great job of it in the first quarter. We also see Lazaros Papadopoulos getting his first Final Four action for Olympiacos, although he's a former EuroLeague champion with Panathinaikos. Let's see, they go right inside him. Papadopoulos spins, and he gets fouled by Kirstic right away. So nice call, trying to get the ball to Papadopoulos, bring him on the court to make his moves in the post.
That's good. I mean, if they keep Kirstic occupied their own defense, that's good news for Olympiacos. And right there, immediately, Jonas Kozlauskas recognizes that he's going to sit and rest Nenad Kirstic, and he's going to use Lavrinovic instead.
Darius Lavrinovich coming in the game for CSKA Moscow. And Papadopoulos, who has been sitting for much of the season with injuries, certainly the latter part of the season, goes to the free throw line, misses the first one. He did not suit up for Friday's semifinal, but he's in there tonight for Olympiacos and trying to give them some help here in the second quarter. He appeared in a couple playoff games, didn't get much going, didn't get much time.
And he's not a good free throw shooter. He's averaging 20% for the season.
And Papadopoulos draws the foul, but can't take advantage of it. And there's Teodosic with the ball, guarded by Spanoulis. He has been the man of the moment with 3 3-pointers in a row. Gives it up to Vorontsevich. Lavrinovich, 4 on the shot clock. Gets it to Jamal Gordon. He's going to launch from deep. Almost makes it. Rebound to Lavrinovich.
Lavrinovich is very active. He chased down the long rebound. Very smart player. He knows, he read the ball well where it was going to bounce.
Back to Teodosic. He gets free. But there's a foul on Lavrinovich on the screen, moving too quickly. Well, on an offensive foul, a turnover for CSKA.
I think he just got there half a step late and just moved in the screen a little bit.
3:37 left in this first half, George. And CSKA up 12, holding Olympiacos to just 13 points so far. What does Olympiacos have to do?
I think they just have to start attacking as early as they can, but it's really difficult against the defense that CSKA is playing.
Manolas attacks, he gets fouled. And he will go to the free throw line.
Frank, I mean, we spoke about Barcelona coming here as the best defensive player, defensive team, but look at CSKA. I mean, they are not giving anything for free. And they started on Friday in the semifinal against Panathinaikos, and they are keeping it in the same style tonight.
Jamal Gordon goes out for CSKA. Shishkauskas comes back in the game. But Spanoulis getting to the free throw line. He's got 3.5 minutes left with the CSKA and the bonus in this half. And as we said, he goes to the free throw line more than any player in the Euroleague, making more free throws. He finished as the second leading scorer this season in the Euroleague with 16.7 points per game. And he knocks down the first of his 2 free throws. He's an 84% free throw shooter for the season. Much needed every single point for Olympiacos. Somebody was in the lane, so Spanoulis will get a chance to take that second free throw.
I think it's exactly right, Frank. I mean, with the defense and only 14 points on the board, they don't need any point they can score.
Spanoulis misses the second try as well. Very unusual for him. So his team is still down 11, 25-14. Teodosic brings it across half court for CSKA. Gets it to Vorontsevich. Back to Teodosic. Shadowed by 2 defenders. Great pass to Lavrinovich, who finishes. No look. Backward pass. Teodosic to Lavrinovich. Milos Teodosic has come to play.
Oh, he's dominating this final so far. It was a beautiful pass. Off balance, no look.
Defense of CSKA. Papanikolaou. He drops a 3-pointer. He answers back. Kostas Papanikolaou from deep for Olympiacos.
Kostas Papanikolaou again giving a big boost to his team. Let's see how he can keep going at this style.
Lavrinovich inside the Kirilenko. That's money in the bank. He puts 2 in as well.
But that was a good backpick there for Kirilenko because Papanikolaou got stuck there on the screen and Kirilenko was wide open right under the basket.
Still a 12-point lead for CSKA, 29-17. Spanoulis driving to the basket. He finishes as well. This is loosening up at the end of the first half, George.
That's a good job by Spanoulis. He's attacking the basket right he did in semifinal. He had a little bit of trouble at the beginning of the game, but now 2 times in a row successful.
Foul in the open court by Papanikolaou. The young guy going against Kirilenko, trying for the steal, knocks him down. But Olympiacos has fouls to give at the end of this half.
It's only first foul for Papanikolaou, and as you said, Olympiacos got fouls to give, so they can afford to be aggressive.
Teodosic guarded by Spanoulis. Shishkauskas. He goes strong to the basket and finishes. Ramonas Shishkauskas against Papadopoulos.
That was a power shot right there because Papadopoulos was in the way of Shishkauskas and he just moved him out of the way.
Back to a 12-point lead. Here's Spanoulis from deep, off the front of the rim. Rebound fought for and grabbed by Teodosic.
And I think that Olympiacos will have to start moving the ball better on offense, Frank. That's what Ivkovic called for before the game. They need a better ball movement, involve more players.
Theodosic with the ball to Kirilenko, drives the lane, goes to Lavrinovic, working on Papadopoulos, loses his footing, travels, and that will be a turnover for CSKA Moscow. They're up to 10. Olympiacos is up to 12. They're almost reaching their averages before the end of the first half. It's just a defensive masterpiece so far.
I mean, Jonas Kozlauskas cannot be any happier. I think the players are completely focused. Look at that body language of CSKA. Everybody is extremely focused.
Papadopoulos tries to dish to Spanoulis on the cut, but it was kicked by Lavrinovic, who will stay Olympiacos ball. They've only got 1:14 to try to 1:14 before halftime, try to get this into back to single digits. They've been behind by 10 or more for a little while. Here's Papadopoulos in the post. Tries to go to the corner, stolen by Kirilenko. Another turnover for Olympiacos.
Such long and active arms in the lane. That's a big-time danger if you're playing against Andrei Kirilenko.
Lavrinovic trying for and making a short jumper. Nice move by him. And the lead is being stretched here in the final minute of the first half. CSKA up by 14. Almost another steal by Kriapa on the floor, throwing his body around.
CSKA is just smelling the blood, Frank. They are all over the place. They are diving on the floor. They are overplaying the lanes. They are so active. I mean, if there was any question if CSKA was going to feel any pressure, here's your answer. I mean, they came ready to play.
43 seconds left until halftime and a 14-point lead for CSKA. We see Evgeny Voronov back in the game for CSKA. Ball goes to Mansadis. He gets it to Papadopoulos. Who gets it to Spanoulis. Spanoulis fouled from behind by Szyszkauskas.
That was a smart play because Spanoulis just felt the contact of Ramunas Szyszkauskas on his back and just waited for the foul to happen.
Draws a third foul on Ramunas Szyszkauskas, who is nothing less than a former MVP of the Euroleague himself and has been a two-time Euroleague champion. So we'll see how much his foul trouble affects him when we come back for the second half, but we still have 36 seconds left in this one, and Spanoulis doing everything he can to try to inch his team forward.
If you remember, Szyszkauskas kind of started this run of CSKA when he played a nice pick and roll with one of his big men, with Sasha Kaun. So 3 fouls to him could be a factor of 2 for Jonas Kozlauskas.
For sure. Spanoulis hits the first free throw. Misses the second, very unusual. He's missing free throws so far. Let's see the Spanoulis. Shved with the ball, guarded by Spanoulis. On top. He took it near the end of the first quarter as well. Let's see if Shved gets the call again, makes his move, goes to Lavrinovic for a 3-point try. And a foul on the play by Spanoulis. Let's see. Lavrinovic, much taller than Spanoulis, shoots over him, misses the shot, but he'll be going to the free throw line for 3 big free throws with 16.7 seconds left in the first half. Let's see. There's the touch on the elbow, spotted by the referee. Good call. Touch on the elbow by Spanoulis as Lavrinovic was shooting that shot.
Absolutely, Frank, and I think it just comes from the fact that Lavrinovic must be respected for his three-point shooting ability. He's a very good three-point shooter.
He should be respected for his free throw shooting ability, even though he didn't hit the first one. He's 95% for the season. Misses 2. Let me double check that. What's going on, George? This is finals nerves.
I mean, we got Vasilis Spanoulis, as you said, missing the free throws on the side of Olympiacos, and now Darius Lavrinovic, the same story right there.
There we go.
Only 1 out of 3.
He gets the third one. He comes out of the game for Andrei Voronov. 16.7 seconds left, 34-20. CSKA lead. Ball in the hands of Spanoulis for Olympiacos. Any points they get back here will be appreciated by their fans. Spanoulis kicks to Printezis for a 3, off the mark. Ball is loose, and it's Voronov with a rebound. Shred for the shot. Let's see if it counts. Let's see if it counts. He made it.
I think they're going to live the video.
I think it was a three-pointer. I don't even know if his foot was on the line. The shot went in, there's no doubt about that. But the lights on the scoreboard were lit with the ball in the air. I think the referees are going to check it out and see if this shot was off before the buzzer sounded. We shall see. They'll do a video replay here at the end of the half. It's 34-20 before that shot falls, and we will find out what the true halftime score is while we wait for the International City without a Euroleague team for at least the next year. So London now has the baton. They'll be doing the Olympics this summer, so they'll be getting ready for the Turkish Airlines Final Four in 2013 at O2 Arena in London, England. We are getting ready here now for the second half of tonight's final, in which CSKA Moscow has taken control at halftime, 34-20. George, if you're Duda Ivkovic of Olympiacos, what do you want your team to show at the start of the second half?
Well, it's nothing to hold back, Frank. I mean, you're down 14 against a paper favorite, against a team that was built to win Final Four, the Euroleague. So I think that you just have to tell the guys, hey guys, this is possibly the last 20 minutes of the season, so let's go out and play, have fun, and just do what we do best. Just play together and attack.
Some changes from the starting lineups now at the start of the second half. AC Law and Kostas Papanikolaou in for Olympiacos, along with their starters, Vasilis Spanoulis, Pedro Antic, and Joey Dorsey, whereas the starters, four of the starters for CSKA Moscow are out there, along with Alexei Shved replacing Ramuna Shishkovskis, who has 3 fouls. Teodosic, the first half hero, now passes off. The ball goes to Shved, working against Dorsey, gets it to Kriapa inside to Kirstich for a quick hook shot, so the beat goes on for CSKA Moscow.
That's a beautiful execution right there. Patience and a good position by Kirstich, close to the basket, beautiful hook shot.
Spanoulis out top for Olympiacos, gets it to Pedro Antic. He's got a mismatch against Shved. He goes in for a hook shot, and he gets the first basket in this half as well. The second half starting like the game started.
All right, good play on both sides. Pedro Antic got also close to the basket. He executed perfectly.
It's Kriap out top for CSKA. Here's Shved on the wing. Oh, he fakes Spanoulis. Gets the ball to Kirstich. And another quick basket for Nenad Kirstich. He's piling up the points now.
And Nenad Kirstich is just making himself very big in that Olympiacos paint.
It's 38-32. He's up to 9 points. Spanoulis kicks it around to Papanikolaou for a 3. He knocks it down. Papanikolaou with another 3-pointer.
Look at Papanikolaou just squaring up and taking that 3 in the face of Andrei Kirilenko.
He hasn't missed a shot tonight. He's up to 12 points without a miss. Kriapa working on Antic, trying to go around, but he gets bumped on the way to the basket. So a foul on Pedro Antic will keep the ball.
Good recognition there by Victor Kriapa. He faked the handoff, but then, of course, he has the speed advantage over Pedro Antic from the outside, so he just took advantage of that.
Second foul on Antic. Kirilenko to Teodosic, guarded by AC Law. 3-pointer by Teodosic, hits the mark again.
And I think that AC Law just has to do a better job of getting over the screen, because he got hung up there and he cannot give so much space to red-hot Milos Teodosic.
4 for 5 from downtown Teodosic. Antic going to the rim, he's going to try to slam. Foul by Kirstich, but Kirstich was able to stop the shot. But what about Milos Teodosic? He's been a EuroLeague MVP with Olympiacos. He's trying to win the Final Four MVP trophy against Olympiacos tonight.
Frank, I just think on that last 3, he got so much room that you cannot do that. I mean, he has scored 3 threes in succession in the first half, and you cannot leave the guy open like that.
Looking incredibly comfortable, Milos Teodosic from downtown.
But you know how he's dangerous. He's got a mindset of a scorer, of a shooter from the outside, and if you leave a guy like that, if he's hot open, you're asking for trouble.
Pedro Antic drops a free throw, but his team is behind 25 or 15 points right now. They're going to have a tough time coming back without a lot more defense on Teodosic. There's Antic hitting the next shot as well. Down 41-27, CSKA in charge. Time ticking away in the third quarter. Under 8 minutes left in the third quarter of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague title game.
If Olympiacos
Teodosic
speaks about itself as a defensive team, it's time to play the defense right now.
Kirilenko gives it up. The ball picked up by Papanikolaou. He's running with Spanoulis. Spanoulis is going to take a three-pointer in transition, and he hits it too. This thing's heating up, George, from downtown.
Look at that. Exactly as we said, Olympiacos needs to pick it up. They just cannot save anything for tomorrow because there simply is no tomorrow.
Teodosic in the lane, tries to pass to Kirilenko. It's loose and out of bounds. Last touch apparently by AC Loss. It'll stay CSKA ball.
CSKA is staying with it. I mean, I think they're just going to go to some simple plays like the pick and roll. They're just going to work the clock. And I think they should try to involve Andrei Kirilenko into the offense as well.
Teodosic out top. Still got the ball. He's going to turn around jumper off the mark. Rebounds free. Fought for. Picked up by Law. He dribbles off his foot and out of bounds. So a big turnover. Shved put the stop on that fast break and forced the turnover.
I can't help it, and I think that the injury from Friday is affecting AC Law because he is not as explosive and not focused as he was on Friday or the games before. Speaking about the playoffs, he was just absolutely superb there.
Alexei Shved cross court to Kriapa inside to Kirstic. Kriapa is going to launch from downtown, in and out. Rebound by Joey Dorsey. And ahead to Spanoulis.
Good job by Dorsey just keeping Kirstic out of the paint and now rebounding.
Spanoulis out top, goes to Papanikolaou. Law swings it back out to Spanoulis. He takes another three-pointer off the mark, going towards the corner, rebound. Doesn't happen, the ball goes out of bounds. It will be CSKA basketball.
I would like Olympiacos to move the ball a little bit better. The time before when Spanoulis was taking the open three on the fast break, that's okay, but right now on the set offense, I think that Olympiacos needs to send the players cutting through the lane a lot more.
I'm sure Coach Ivkovic would like to see some inside-out movement with the ball, but with the Steelers inside for CSKA, tough to get a pass in to put it back out again. Here's Teodosic, gets it to Kriapa, he'll launch another three. This one he rattles down. Victor Kriapa joining the three-point party and has CSKA up 44-30.
That was an important basket by Victor Kriapa because somebody else is doing the shooting from the outside and Teodosic.
Spanoulis out top, working with Dorsey. Goes all the way in and gets fouled by Kirstic. He'll be going to the free throw line, but the third foul and then on Kirstic, George.
That was a good attack right there by Spanoulis. He did it in the first half, Frank. If you remember, he just attacked Kirstic. Regardless that Spanoulis is 1m93 and Kirstic is 2m12. I mean, what a gutsy play right there by Vasilis Spanoulis, but we've been seeing that from him all season long.
It's only the third trip to the free throw line for Spanoulis, and he's 2 for 4 so far. Misses another one, George.
That's a third free throw miss by Vasilis Spanoulis in tonight's game.
Very, very unusual for him. He's an 80% free throw shooter. Knocks down the second one, so he's 3 for 6 and up to 13 points. But his team is still down by the same amount, 13. Shved on the run. Shved's going inside, but he pulls it out. Kirilenko's going to toss up a three and knock it down. It's shooting time after your Turkish Airlines Euroleague final.
And if shooting was not happening for CSKA in the semifinal, it's the main facet in the game in the final.
This team is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the EuroLeague, ranked second with 39.2% this season, hitting 174 of them. So they can shoot the three. CSKA Moscow right now up to 6 in this game. Inside, Papanikolaou goes to Antic for a three-pointer. Up, off the mark and into the hands of Kriapa with a big rebound.
Frank, if you combine the deadly defense by CSKA and their outside shooting, I mean, that's a lethal combination.
And we're seeing it right here. They're up 16 now. Kriapa with the ball. The Teodosic from deep, off the mark. Front of the rim, but rebounded by Kirilenko. Teodosic out top. They're going to run another play. Kirilenko has it. Shadowed by Papanikolaou. and an offensive foul in the lane. Looks like it'll be on Sasha Kahn, trying to make a screen for either Teodosic or Kriapa, but he gets called for the offensive foul.
I think Sasha just got a little bit overexcited there, trying to set the screen for the shooters.
Timeout on the floor in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague final. We've got a 47-31 scoreboard. And while we wait for the action to come back, we'll take a look at our Inside the Game feature on Andrei Vorontsevich. 47-31, as I said. You see the FS Bills and cheerleaders on the floor. Now we'll take a look at our Inside the Game feature on CSKA forward Andrei Vorontsevich.
Power forward Andrei Vorontsevich seems to fly higher every season for CSKA Moscow. From a little-used teenager who debuted in 2006, Vorontsevich has grown into a rim rocker, consistently wreaking havoc of CSKA's bench. Along the way, he raised their Euroleague trophy in 2008, and this season became the player with the most consecutive seasons wearing CSKA red. Despite playing behind star veterans like Matias Smodis and Andrei Kirilenko, Vorontsevich has always found ways to improve. 4 of his best 5 performances in 70 career EuroLeague games came this season, and his flashy dunking helped him hit 64% of his 2-point shots, 4th best in the EuroLeague, making Vorontsevich a sure thing for CSKA fans.
I think for this team like CSKA, it doesn't matter which player scored a lot of points. Maybe you don't score, maybe you score little points, but you take the rebounds, help on defense, do a lot of hard work, just hustling all the time. I think this is the key for this team.
Third quarter action in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague title game, 47-31. CSKA Moscow leading at this moment. And Olympiacos running out of time. They're going to have to make a move after that timeout.
They're going to have to pick it up. You're right, Frank, because it's only 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third quarter. And they are down 16. And that is not easy of a hole to climb out of against CSKA Moscow, who is defending superbly and is shooting the lights out.
And Pedo Antic going to the free throw line for Olympiacos. And remarkable fact that we just saw on the screen, George, all the points of Olympiacos shared by 3 players. Spanoulis with 13, Papanikolaou with 12, and Antic with 6 before these free throws.
That is amazing. If you have only 3 players scoring all the points, that is not the greatest news, and it's going to stay that way because it's Pedo Antic who is on the free throw line. He makes only 1, so it's a 15-point game.
And the free throws are starting to hurt Olympiacos. They're only 7 for 12 so far in this game. They can't afford that with this deficit they're facing against an incredible CSKA Moscow team.
They cannot afford any tiny mistake if they want to get back into this game.
Ziskauskas on the wing, gets it over to Kriapa, steps in for a 2-pointer off the mark, and a foul on the rebound by Sasha Kahn, knocking Spanoulis for a loop. Ball will go to Olympiacos. 4:21 left in the third quarter, and George Zidek, he goes to the free throw line. It seems like drawing fouls against that aggressive CSKA defense is the offensive thing that's working now for Olympiacos.
I mean, Olympiacos just gonna take any points they can get. There was a mix-up there around the basket, and Spanoulis just got there in the rebounding position, and Sasha Kahn extended his arm and was called for the foul. So 2 free throws for Vasil Spanoulis, who has missed 3 free throws quite unexpectedly if you look at his average for the season.
Well, he missed the first one each other time, so he got 1 this time. George, he may be missing some free throws, but do you have any doubt that if there's one leader who can bring a team back under these conditions, it might be Vasil Spanoulis?
But Frank, he will need help. He will need help against CSKA. He cannot do it single-handedly. That is my opinion about this.
Kirilenko bringing the ball up and dribbles it out of bounds on the defensive pressure by Papanikolaou.
That's it right there. You spoke about Papanikolaou just giving a huge lift to Olympiacos in the semifinal, and he is very active again in this game.
We see AC Law favoring that hurt ankle. He's on the court. Let's see if there's much he can do against his CSKA team. Fredo Antic is a foul on the screen. It's an offensive foul, and it looks like it's the third one on Joey Dorsey, who's having a rough game in his first final.
This is very difficult for Olympiacos to take because they had a chance at a mini run right there.
Joey Dorsey with only 2 rebounds, 5 turnovers, has 3 fouls now, having it rough in his first Euroleague final against CSKA. Teodosic, shadowed by Law, gets into Kirilenko. Kirilenko with a foul and turnover as Papanikolaou facing up to the MVP.
And he's
doing his job so far.
He's all over the place. He was chasing Kirilenko from the back just a moment ago. Right now he just steps in front of him and just takes him on his chest and takes the charge.
Great job by the youngster.
Look at that right here. Andrei Kirilenko just goes into him and lowers his shoulder. And Papanikolaou takes the one for the team.
No doubt about it. Kostas Papanikolaou had the position, forced the turnover. And those are the kind of plays that Olympiacos will have to make if they're going to make up this 13-point difference now. With a little under 4 minutes left in the third quarter of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague final title game here in Istanbul, Turkey. Timeout on the floor with 47:34 on the scoreboard.
I'm seeing Kostas Lukas taking off his warm-up, so he's going to be checking in, I believe, for AC Law and also Kyle Hines, who's got 3 personal fouls. He's going to be checking back into the game. Frank, he's held scoreless so far, and he was a big factor for the Olympiacos team, especially in the playoffs, in a phenomenal success against Montepaschi Siena. He was just a player that they could have relied on.
George, all the Olympiacos players are scoreless except for Papanikolaou, Spanoulis, and Fredo Antic. Unbelievable.
So I should take it from the other way around. I just should say who scored some points rather than naming the players who has not scored, but it's a majority of them.
There's a longer list, those who haven't scored. Kyle Hines in the game, Kostas Lukas in the game. He's been a big playmaker for them during the season. Another 22-year-old for Olympiacos. And Georgios Printez is also in the game. So a bit small lineup out there for the Reds of Olympiacos. Spanoulis out top, working with Kyle Hines, trying to get around the double team. Goes to Slukas inside to Printez. The pass to Papanikolaou. And he loses the ball out of bounds with some tough defense, trying to make a wraparound pass, couldn't get it, and another turnover, George, for Olympiacos.
There was nothing there for Kostas Papanikolaou, but Frank, I think that one of the trio of Hines, Dorsey, and Printez just have to step up. Frank, if you remember the later part of the season, always one of those guys, or ideally all 3 of them, are just the main guys for the team. Frank, they need to come to play.
Teodosic crosses half court going against Lukas. The Kriap guarded by Printezis. They go inside to Tsiskauskis. He's got a mismatch. Enma puts a shot down on the post up, but Tsiskauskis has CSKA up 15. 13 minutes left in the game.
That's a very smart play to post up Tsiskauskis against Spanoulis. He just has to take advantage of his size every time down.
Spanoulis in the corner to Printezis. He drives this time, spins, tries to finish. No, gets it to Papanikolaou. Inside to Hines. The ball's loose, but Hines stepped on the end line. George, that is turnover number 18 on Olympiacos. With still more than 12 minutes left in this game.
I mean, do you see how active the CSKA defense is? There is nothing. There are no holes. There are no weaknesses for the Russian team. They are playing the best defense I have seen this season. Any team playing.
Absolutely inspired CSKA defense. They were the top scoring team in the Euroleague. But they're turning on the D here in the final. Jamon Gordon in the game with the ball for CSKA. Gets a screen, goes inside. Trying to go up over Hines, and he gets it in. It's now a 17-point lead for CSKA, 51-34, and it's getting tougher and tougher for Olympiacos. Here's Spanoulis, moves the ball around to Slukas, tries to go inside, another turnover. It's all CSKA right now. Ahead to Sved for the layup on the break. CSKA Moscow taking full control with a 19-point lead in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague final, 53-34. Another timeout on the floor by Olympiacos. And George Zidek, let's remind people about the pride of CSKA Moscow.
Olympiacos just cannot find absolutely anything going right for them. They are trying to penetrate, they are trying to attack the defense of CSKA, but inside the paint, it's so congested that they just have trouble getting the ball to their big man who could finish it. I think either they start shooting from the outside and they better start getting to it, because it's 19 points down with 12 minutes to go, or this game is over.
Well, they certainly have a better opportunity shooting, trying their three-point shots if they get them halfway open, because once they go in the middle, it's nothing but trouble.
There's nothing. Everybody's sagging from the weak side for CSKA Moscow. They are just doing a superb job of congesting the interior room around the basket.
I was going to say, to remind people about the pride of CSKA Moscow. This team won its first 4 EuroLeague titles back in the early, mid-60s, late 60s and early 70s. Waited 35 years to win one again in 2007 in Prague, your city, George. Came back 2 years later, won in Madrid to get up to 6. They're tied for second place on the all-time list with Panathinaikos, who they beat on Friday night, dethroning those ex-champions. And now they're going to try to move into second place after they reached 8 EuroLeague Final Fours in a row and had their streak interrupted, not even making the second round last year. Come back strong and trying to close out this final. Slukas for Olympiacos gets fouled by Sasha Khan, so he'll be going to the free throw line. Kostas Slukas. That's about all that CSKA's given them.
And Sasha Khan, with his foul, is going to go to the benches. He's got a 4th foul, and Darius Lavrinovic is coming back to the court. And he had very good first half, Frank. He was very active on offense.
The CSKA defense has just given up foul shots and nothing more lately. Slukas, a 91% free throw shooter, misses as well. George, this has got to be symptomatic of some sort of nerves or being out of sync on this team. Big free throw shooters are missing them.
I think here the experience factor also comes into play, Frank. Olympiacos is a very young team. We spoke about it on Friday. They have 10 new players, and maybe right now their self-confidence is just really being shaken up.
Little pressure on the ball. Mansadas back in the game to guard Jamal Gordon for Olympiacos. He stopped the pops, however. Mansadas pulls down a rebound. Gets it to Slukas on the wing. Using the screen by Hines. Pass inside. Slukas to Hines. It misses right at the basket. Tough roll for Kyle Hines.
Right there, close to the basket. It almost seemed like the ball was going in, but it just rolled out on Kyle Hines.
Sped out top for CSKA. Almost loses it. Stolen by Slukas. He's on the run. Straight down the middle. Goes to Pretez. His first fast break basket I can remember for Olympiacos.
In a very long time, and that's what Olympiacos is good at. The young guys just getting the ball up the court, running and attacking.
That's why this small lineup's on the floor. Mansadas fouls Jamal Gordon. They've got another foul to give here in the final minute of the third quarter. With 51 seconds left. Olympiacos, they are already in desperation time, even though we have a whole fourth quarter to play.
Oh yeah, they're down big, 16 points against CSKA. That's not a good news.
Shved goes to Gordon across court. Back to Shved on the wing. Shved's going to take a running jumper and miss. Ball is loose. Shved fighting for it. And we'll see who the foul is on. Could be Mansadas from behind. No, it goes the other way. It's Shved with the foul on the rebound. That will put Mansadas, I believe, on the free throw line.
And Janas Kozlauskas is upset about it because he is just gesturing for Shved to come over to him and just trying to explain to him that times on CSKA side, they don't have to rush anywhere. They just need to take smart shots, open shots, because you already see that Olympiacos defense is scrambling, Frank.
Another missed free throw for Olympiacos, but in this case, it's not one of their great free throw shooters. Mansadas only 45% for the season, misses both. And the rebound goes to CSKA. Shved crossing half court. Just things that Olympiacos can't afford now.
Absolutely, they have missed too many free throws in the game. 8 right now.
They almost steal. They knock the ball out of bounds. Their small guys on defense are all over the place, but they're not taking advantage at the other end of the court. That ball stays CSKA possession, and each one from now on with a 16-point difference on the scoreboard and 28 seconds left in the third quarter. Each missed opportunity could be trouble for Olympiacos.
That's very costly, and right here you see a substitution to calm things down for CSKA. Miloš Teodosic comes back on the court and he demands the ball immediately.
3-point try by Teodosic. He misses this one. He's been hitting them all night. Here comes Slukas the other way for Olympiacos. Mansadas, he's going to try a 3. He's going to hit a 3. He doesn't hit the free throws, but he hits a 3-pointer on the buzzer. Evangelos Mansadas to give a little lift to Olympiacos, backward in 13:53-40 at the end of 3 quarters in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague title game.
Well, it gives a lot of hope to Olympiacos. It's a 13-point game, so if you look at it technically, Olympiacos won this quarter by 1 point. So it gives a little bit of a lift, but right now it's 10 final minutes, you down 13. So I think, Frank, Olympiacos either plays the best game of the season or they don't have a chance.
Well, Mansadas with that 3-pointer, sometimes that gives a psychological boost to teams because in the middle of that third quarter, CSKA poured it on. We're leading by 19, and just in the last minute and a half, it's been a 6-0 Olympiacos run to get it back down to 13. But they're going to, the way the CSKA defense has been playing, Olympiacos is going to have to get it to single digits before long if they want to have a shot at this title tonight.
Oh, they don't have to risk. I mean, you saw scrambling defense already, so I think it's just a matter of Jonas Kozlauskas sitting down his guys and putting the most experienced lineup on the court. And that's what I think we're seeing right there. It's Krepa, Teodosic, Krstic, Šiškauskas, and who is the last guy? Jamal Gordon. So that's a very experienced. You're putting Šiškauskas and Krstic back on the floor with Krepa. That's some serious experience, and these guys understand what it takes to bring this game home. Last 10 minutes.
Olympiacos coach Duda Ivkovic coached in 5 different decades from the 70s until now. He's got as much experience as anybody who's coaching today, and he has been using a small lineup. CSKA comes out for the fourth quarter with 2 of their big guys and some big guards as well. Do you think Duda, you see he's got small guys back out here again, he's going to have to take that chance, right?
Frank, I think that Duda Ivkovic is looking for anything that would work because he tried many things and nothing has been working so far. Only now with the run 6-0 at the end of the third quarter, something seemed to be working for Olympiacos.
Olympiacos will inbound the ball and get a chance to knock down this lead. Mansadas out top, working with Hines. Kyle Hines driving on Krstic, kicks out to Slukas. Slukas from deep, he rattles it in. Kostas Slukas has got it down to a 10-point difference.
And look at that, all of a sudden it's a 9-0 run by Olympiacos Piraeus.
The defenders on the floor, but Šiškauskas has the ball. They were trying to double team and knocked into each other. Jamal Gordon on the wing. He drives to the basket. He's surrounded. Hines blocks him and takes it. Here comes Slukas the other way. Olympiacos trying to get this down to single digits. Into Protesic. He makes his move inside. Keeps it going. Hook shot off the backboard. It's down to 8, George Zidek.
What a run by Olympiacos. That was a patented shot by Georgios Protesic. How many times we've seen that right at the jump hook in the season?
Olympiacos has an 11-0 run. CSKA led by as many as 19 in the third quarter. We're early in the fourth. They go inside to Krstic, and he dances a little too much. Another turnover by CSKA. Here comes the pressure. We hear the Olympiacos fans.
And the fans are coming alive, and so is Andrei Krylenko, who is getting off the bench. Right there, it's Nenad Krstic. Clearly a traveling violation.
So another turnover, and CSKA Moscow's up to 16 turnovers, Stuart. Not like they've taken care of business entirely tonight.
Exactly. I mean, that's a high number of turnovers for such an experienced team. Let's see this heating up.
Slukas with the ball for Olympiacos. Protesic with a quick shot, misses, and fouls from behind on the rebound. We've seen him make those shots before, but not that time.
But I think he just hesitated a second too long. I mean, he wasn't sure if he was supposed to pass it or shoot it. And that split-second hesitation caused him to miss that shot.
But it's an 8-point game with 8:40 to play in the fourth quarter. So plenty of time for Olympiacos. Theodosic with the ball for CSKA. Gets it to Kirstich, who hands back. They swing it to Kriapa. And to Kirilenko. He crosses, goes to the hoop, guarded by Keshel. And there's a foul on the play.
And I believe that's exactly the situation that Jonas Kuzlauskas was talking in the morning before the game. He said, if the game gets on the line, you go with your stars. And right there was an isolation play for Andrei Kirilenko against Keshel.
He's got inbounds and swings to Kirilenko again. It goes to Theodosic. Good job of defense by Mansadas. Theodosic still has it. He's driving, but he turns the ball over on a palming violation. Turnover number 17 for CSKA, and another chance for Olympiacos to cut the lead further.
Wow, what a momentum change here in the game, Frank.
George, at what point, at what score difference does the pressure shift very big to CSKA?
Well, I think if we get down to 5, this is a really open game.
Castro from downtown! We have a 5-point ball game. CSKA 53, Olympiacos with a 14-point run, 14-0, and they're back in this ball game. We have a final. Theodosic from deep, missing, rebound for Siskauskas. CSKA keeps the ball, but they have the pressure now. 5-point difference.
That was a huge rebound by Ramunas Siskauskas right there in that possession.
Kriapa out top, guarded by Printesson. Tries to go inside to Kirstich. He misses it. Turnover number 18 for CSKA. And now the pressure mounts.
Frank, I'm not believing what I'm seeing. This is the young kids just completely turning the game around.
Timeout on the floor. It's Olympiacos with a 14-0 run. It started late in the third quarter, but with 7:24 to play, it's anybody's ball game. CSKA 53, Olympiacos 48. And you said it, George. The young guys and the small lineup has befuddled CSKA quite a bit. The defense on the ball by Mansadas is very key here so far. We've talked about it. 22-year-old, just turned 22, having the defense of a veteran, and he's making it show by stopping Theodosic and the first half hero.
Frank, just maybe this is the way to pay off Vasilis Spanoulis for the whole season. He was carrying Olympiacos the whole season on his back single-handedly. And right now they are making the run without him. So the ball circulation, attitude, absolutely nothing to lose. It's paid off big time for Olympiacos Piraeus.
George, it was 53-34 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. That means in the less than 5 minutes, they have cut down 14 points from that difference to make it a whole new ball game, 53-48. Olympiacos came alive, their fans came alive, and as you said, Vasilis Spanoulis, who is their leader by far, maybe the biggest leader I've seen on any team, led them here, not on the floor, but he should come back now and do what he does.
Well, it's a big question. I mean, do you stay with the same lineup or you put back Vasilis Spanoulis? Right now we see the same guys coming out.
No, you stay with the same lineup now, but you know you got him in your pocket towards the last 5 minutes.
I mean, it's 7.5 minutes to go, so there's still a lot of game to be played, Frank. I mean, it's 53-48, and it all started, I don't know if you agree with me, with a little carelessness of CSKA on offense. They're trying to play a little bit too much on individual basis. Would you agree?
I would agree, and we have 7 minutes and 24 seconds of loud and wild action to get this going. Starts with a foul by Theodosic right away on Mansadas. First foul of the fourth quarter for CSKA. Olympiacos has done, so we'll keep an eye on the bonus. That's 2, so we'll keep an eye on the bonus situation. Mansadas trying to get across half court. Hand on the ball for Olympiacos, and another foul on Theodosic. Let's see what the foul situation is, George. In this game so far, we know that for Olympiacos, there's some foul trouble. That's number 3 on Theodosic, 3 on Siskauskas. 3 on Kirsten, 4 on Sasha Pound, and 3 on Alexis Shved of CSKA.
And I mean, I see some frustration on Teodosic's face.
Lucas from 3, he misses, and the rebound to Kirilenko.
That would have been a huge shot if he made that. I mean, he would have brought the house down.
He didn't hesitate at all. These are gutsy young players on Olympiacos, and they're led by Ivkovic, the oldest coach. Here's Teodosic from deep. He misses, the rebound's loose, and that's Lucas who takes it from Kirilenko. Passes ahead to Mansadas, ball's loose and out of bounds on Keshel. That is the risk of playing with young guys and having to come back.
That's exactly right. I mean, they fight their heart out, they put it hard on the line, but sometimes they just make elementary mistakes like that.
3 guys under 23 there, playing the 4th quarter of the title game. Riapa out top for CSKA, gets it to Siskauskas, turn around, shot on the baseline. Siskauskas settling down CSKA.
So valuable, Ramūnas Siskauskas in the final game. This is the 3rd postcard that he's been able to connect on.
55-48 for CSKA now. Hines moving to the basket, gets it to Printezis with a foul on the pass committed by Griapa. That's his 3rd foul as well, but at this point, it really depends who has 4 because everybody's playing.
It doesn't matter. I mean, that was a good foul, and he stopped with that foul and easy basket.
Seems like they're giving the ball to Hines to drive on the bigger men and pass off. It worked for 1 3-pointer. It would have worked on that play if he wasn't fouled. Now it's Mansadas driving baseline all the way across to the corner to Keshel. Off the mark this time, Keshel, and into the hands of Griapa.
I think right now it's time to bring Vasilis Spanoulis back on the court.
With under 6 minutes left, and CSKA up by 7. This is turned around into quite a barn burner after CSKA was up 19 with 12 minutes to play. They go back to Siskauskas in the post. He is fouled by Slukas.
That's such a difficult matchup right there because Ramūnas Siskauskas is not rushing anything. He's taking his time. He is watching if the double team is coming. If not, thank you very much, guys. I'm going to play one-on-one.
And here comes Vasilis Spanoulis back on the court as well as Kostas Papanikolaou. So some changes here at the end for Dusan Ivkovic, coach of Olympiacos. Teodosic inbounds to Kirstich. Tries to get it back and does. Kirstich loses it on the block by Hines. Here comes Slukas the other way. On the run, Slukas goes inside to Hines. Hines moving inside, spins, tries to finish, doesn't get it. On the defense by Kirstich.
He is just too small against Kirstich. Kirstich keeps his position even though he's knocked off a little bit. He still keeps his hands up and it's extremely difficult for Hines to shoot over him.
We've seen Hines finish games very strong. His team's now down 7. Griapa on the wing, and a foul off the ball. Looks like it was Vasilis Spanoulis running into Ramūnas Siskauskas. Looks like he took a shot to the nose or the mouth. Let's see how he is, the foul on that play.
I mean, nobody is saving anything. This is all-out war.
There you see Siskauskas getting hit by the head of Spanoulis. Trying to fight through a screen. Now Spanoulis receives Mansadas come back in the game to replace Lucas. Missed by Siskauskas. Rebound by Hines. There's very tense moments here as we come up on the 5-minute mark in the 4th quarter. Mansadas to Printezis to Spanoulis to Hines. Blocked by Kirilenko. Oh baby!
What a block right there by Kirilenko!
Teodosic to Siskauskas from the corner, in and out. Mansadas with the ball ahead to Papanikolaou. He doesn't challenge Kirilenko, pulls it out. Printezis to the basket, gets fouled on the way by Griapa. He'll go to the free throw line. But George, I want to relay the conversation I had with Spanoulis after the semifinal. I said, that was unbelievable. And Spanoulis said one word, maturity. Here's the block by Kirilenko. Look at that. He just went up. Figure Hines didn't want to try to dunk it because he saw Kirilenko. Oh, wow. What a reaction.
Out of this world,
by Kirilenko. From the other side of the basket, getting that block. Printezis on the line, however, has a chance. Drops a free throw. That's the difference.
That's the lucky roll right there. That's what Olympiacos needed. They missed too many free throws. We've been saying that all game long. Look at that right now, Frank. I mean, all those missed free throws.
Difference down to 6. Difference down to 5. 55 to 50. Plenty of time in this game. 4:20 to play. And we have a final. It may be low scoring, but it is a lot of fun here in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four. Theodosis shadowed by Hines. He walks with the ball. Turnover by CSKA. The pressure mounting. And Olympiacos with a chance to cut the lead to as little as 2 on this possession.
To my taste, Milos Theodosic has done too many mistakes with the travel, with the early fouls. I think he just needs to calm down. He's the leader right now in this game. He's the hottest man. He scored three pointers in a row in the first half.
Mansadas with the ball for Olympiacos. Goes to Printezis. He's working on Kriapa, turns, shoots, misses, gets his rebound, goes back, puts it down, and it's fouled! A 3-point opportunity for Yorgos Printezis. That's 55 to 52. And George see that a 19-point difference just 8 minutes ago in this game. We have a 3-point ball game and 4 minutes left.
But look at the huge heart of Olympiacos, the way they are fighting. You just see Princess is just staying with his shots, fighting against 3 CSKA guys, huge guys, that is to say. I mean, excellent rebounders and shot blockers, but he stayed with it, he scored, and he has a chance to make a 3-point play.
What a rebound, and he fouls out Victor Kriapa, one of the top defenders. Misses the free throw, however, and Kirilenko collects the rebound. Oh, baby.
That was just too much adrenaline. Princess couldn't calm down for the free throw.
Sped for CSKA goes into Kirstich. He gets fouled going up, so he will probably go to the free throw. Let's see what the call first. And he will shoot 2 free throws. Then at Kirstich, both teams are in the bonus anyway, so every foul from now on puts them on the free throw line.
So free throw shooting, Frank's gonna play a huge role down the stretch right now.
And free throw shooting this season, Olympiacos 73.7% and CSKA 78% as teams, but as we know, Granulis has been one of the top guys getting to the free throw line, so it depends who's on the court before you talk about team free throw shooting percentages.
I mean, I don't dare to make too many predictions in the game here anymore, Frank. I mean, it's been so unorthodox. If you have CSKA up 19, would you have imagined a game like this?
Here's Ditch. Makes the first one with a nice roll for him. George, do you think when CSKA was up 19 with 12 minutes to play in this game, there was any relaxation? I didn't see it personally. They were just playing as hard as could be. They did have some miscues, but I don't think they relaxed.
Hey, they just couldn't close it out, Frank. I mean, I said it started with little carelessness. Carelessness on offense is very dangerous and it's contagious.
5-point lead again for CSKA. 3:30 to play. Spanulis with the ball goes to Hines. Tries to pass out. It's a turnover. He had 2 guys to go to, but he was afraid to challenge the shot blockers of CSKA.
He was thinking about that block by Andrei Kirilenko. He was looking out for him. Where are you, Andrei? I better pass it out.
So CSKA getting stronger after the big 14-point run by Olympiacos. Fed with the ball. Goes to Voron Sevic into Kirilenko. Look at Papa looking out. Challenge him, but Kirilenko puts it down anyway. It's now 59-52, and CSKA coming back on its own.
That was a difficult play there by Andrei Kirilenko. He was able to handle it one-on-one.
Spanulis out top, working on Sped, gets a screen from Hines, whips it with Mansadas. This is going to be Papanikolaou for the 3! Demetrius Papanikolaou in the face of Kirilenko.
He is absolutely unconscious. That's unbelievable. Kostas Papanikolaou at 21 years of age.
Unbelievable. 59-55, 2:45 to play. Theodosic for CSKA driving. He's inside. The ball is loose. It goes out of bounds. It is Olympiacos ball. Unbelievable defense for Olympiacos in this quarter, forcing turnover on. And here's the shot again by Papanikolaou. You got one of the best shot blockers in the world right in your face. I'll take that, says the 21-year-old.
That was the second time in a row, just completely covered by Kirilenko.
Spanulis out top, goes to Printezis. to Manzares, misses the three-pointer from the corner. They were going for the kill there. It's 59-55 still. Coming up on 2 minutes. Teodosic.
A huge defensive possession for Olympiacos.
Teodosic gets it back. Gets a screen from Kirstic, guarded by Hines. Kirilenko driving on Manzares. Manzares commits the foul near the basket. He had him until the basket. A smart play by Kirilenko to get to the free throw line.
That's when leaders come to play, Frank. Andrei Kirilenko is the undisputed leader of CSKA team, and here right now in the crunch time, he comes to play. 2 crucial plays in a row. Let's see if he can collect on the free throws though.
He's a 75% free throw shooter this season. Kirilenko is 2 for 2 tonight. And you said, George, those free throws from early in the game might hurt Olympiacos, and they are right now. They've missed 10 free throws tonight, while CSKA is now 10-14 on that first one by Kirilenko, opening up that 5-point lead again. He misses the second. The ball is loose, rebounded by Printezis. Gets it to Hines, but still just a 5-point difference, under 2 minutes. Here's Hines bringing the ball all the way up court for Olympiacos. Gets it to Spanoulis. Spanoulis gets it back. 8 on the shot clock. He's a step back three-pointer. Spanoulis misses. Papanikolaou in there with the rebound. Misses the shot, but he'll be going to the free throw line. And before we see the final of this game, George, you have to say a star has been born at this Final Four. Kostas Papanikolaou.
But he's a warrior. Look at it, how active he's staying. He gets the monster rebound and just goes back up, right back up. And all the shot blockers and the big players of CSKA. Kirstic was there. Kirilenko, he was not afraid. He is not afraid to take the three, take the rebound, just immediately attacking.
George, this is Euroleague basketball at its finest, and you see the fans of Olympiacos and the fans of CSKA living and dying with every trip down the floor. They are on their feet like they've been all game. For this last 2 minutes, Papanikolaou drops the first free throw, 1:36 to play. He's got his team within 4 and can make it a one-possession game with this free throw. His team's missed 10 before this. Let's see if he can hit 2 in a row, which I think we've only seen once tonight from Olympiacos.
Truly a fascinating game. Unfortunately for Olympiacos, the troubles with free throw shooting continue.
So it's a 4-point game, 60-56, 1:28 to play. Stead with the ball against Spanoulis. Stead, one of the heroes of the semifinal. Looking for a screen, gets it from Kirstic, gets the ball back to Kirstic, hands off to Kirilenko, the ball is loose, tipped by Manzares. He goes ahead to Spanoulis, inside to Printezis. Hook shot, Printezis. It's a 2-point ball game with a minute to play.
But look at that, the way they're attacking, it seemed like there was no fast break, and they put it inside, and a quick move by Georgios Printezis, 2-point game.
Teodosic with the ball, under a minute left. Ahead by 2 points, CSKA. He has it. Steps back for a jumper. Off the mark. Rebound to Printezis. Olympiacos has a chance to tie, down 19 late in the third quarter. It's 40 seconds left. Printezis inside. He's spinning, moving. He's going to take it. Blocked. Blocked by Voroncevich.
That was a key defensive play right there.
Printezis wanted it. Voroncevich stuck with him and made the big block. 25 seconds left. CSKA up 2. Difference on the shot clock of 10. They're going to play defense. Foul before the shot. As Teodosic made his move, he will go to the free throw line. Foul by Hines.
Frank, did he shoot big free throws against the semifinal game?
He missed 2 free throws.
Exactly. I mean, this is a carbon copy situation for Milos Teodosic. Is he going to make the 2 big ones tonight?
Teodosic has not been to the free throw line so far tonight, but he shoots 84% on the year. So with 19.6 seconds left, what a thriller. They may be defensive games, but they are absolutely thrilling. Teodosic knocks down the first one. It'll take a 3-pointer now for Olympiacos to tie. If he makes the second, he really makes it tough on Olympiacos.
This is the crucial free throw.
Teodosic off the mark. corral the rebound. Papanikolaou, Spanoulis with the ball. 15 seconds left. Sved going after him. The ball to Papanikolaou. He tries to shoot, but he got fouled before the shot by Teodosic. Trying to prevent a three-pointer with 10 seconds on the clock. Papanikolaou going to the free throw line. What a finish. It's 61-58. 10 seconds and a timeout on the floor. And George, we don't want to harp on Olympiacos, but right now they can't think about all the missed free throws because they're going to have to think about that all season if they don't start making them right now.
I mean, this is a crucial situation. They have only 10 seconds to go. They have 2 free throws, Frank. They are down 3 points, but I think they will go for 2 makes and they try to go for a quick foul. I mean, this is coming down to the wire. The best basketball on the continent is played here tonight in Istanbul in Sinan Erdem Arena.
Unbelievable final. We had low-scoring semifinals. Very unusual low-scoring final as well. But we can't ask for any more drama than 3-point difference. Somebody on the line with 10.1 seconds left. 19-point comeback in the span of 8 minutes for Olympiacos. That meaning they were down 19, got it back to within 2. So they have a shot at winning this still with just 10 seconds left.
Frank, it's truly inspirational to see such a young team as Olympiacos go on the floor when the game was seemingly out of their reach and just getting back, just clawing inch by inch into the game and just making it here. 3 points, 10 seconds to go. What a game we've had so far, and I don't think it's over yet.
Not at all. 10 seconds is a long time with just a 3-point difference. The 21-year-old Kostas Papanikolaou on the free throw line. The same small lineup out there for Olympiacos and the big guys out there for CSKA. They're going to finish it. Papanikolaou with the first shot. And it goes down. He's got the lead cut to 2.
What a final game, what a semi-final, what a Final Four for Kostas Papanikolaou, Frank.
Couldn't be noisier in most Euroleague games, but they almost hear a pin drop. Here he is again, Papanikolaou. He makes the second. It's a 1-point ball game with 10 seconds to play and a timeout on the floor. And George, it's time to talk strategy.
This is the chess of basketball right here. 2 great coaches against each other, Frank.
Let's look at the free throw percentages for the guys that were on the floor. For CSKA, Kyrylenko 75%, Kirstich 78%, Teodosic 84%, Siskowska 74%, and Sved 85%. So you got pick your poison if they're going to foul somebody out of those 5.
That's difficult really to say who you foul. I think that Kirstich is going to be out of the question. He's going to clear the court and he's going to run under the basket. So I wouldn't say he would be involved in the inbounding play. From the remaining players that you just named, I don't know. Maybe Alexei Sved, he's the youngest. Maybe his nerves would be unsteady. Yeah, but anybody's pick.
Kirstich has a 78% free throw shooting percentage. They got a chance to go for the steal before the foul as well, but they're going to have to make sure they get the foul if they don't get the steal. Let's see what happens with 10.1 seconds left.
And a quick foul too, Frank, because there's only 10 seconds, so they cannot gamble too much, just lose the player completely and not be able to foul it. They need a quick foul.
CSKA will inbound the ball on the near side at half court with Kyrylenko taking the ball in, guarded by Printezis. Kyrylenko won't be receiving it. We'll see who does receive it. And what, if anybody receives it at all. Let's see. Inbounds, 10 seconds left. 61-60. CSKA ahead and have the ball. The inbounds by Kyrylenko. Trying to get it to Siskowska. And he does.
That's a good choice. Ramuda Siskowska got very strong nerves. He's as experienced as anybody.
Manolis gets caught with the foul. Number 4 on Manolis. And Siskowska is shooting into the corner, into the end of the arena with all the Olympiacos fans. So if he makes these, he's got a lot of guts. Misses the first one. This means the Olympiacos can go for 2 or 3. There's 9.7 seconds on the clock. Let's see if he makes the second and who gets the rebound. Siskowska misses the second. Olympiacos with a chance to win. The ball in the hands of Vasilis Spanoulis. Goes by himself. Gets it to Protestis. He makes it! Olympiacos ahead. 0.7 seconds left. 0.7 seconds on the clock. Yorgos Protestis on the assist by Spanoulis. Olympiacos ahead.
This is unbelievable.
61 to 62.
This is unbelievable.
Right to the court. Hines knocks out of bounds. Olympiacos, champion of the Euroleague. Olympiacos, Protestis, the biggest upset in years in the Euroleague final. Unbelievable, unbelievable, unbelievable. What a final. Look at them celebrate. Olympiacos beat us, the champions of the Euroleague. Unbelievable! 19 points down with 12 minutes to play. Olympiacos turned it on, took the title from CSKA Moscow. Let them celebrate. They deserve it. The most unexpected champion of the Euroleague this century. Olympiacos beat us on the buzzer by Georgios Protestis, assisted by Vasilis Spanoulis.
After a complete metamorphosis of the roster, amazing 10 new players. This team was assembled just during the season, even with 2 additions of 2 players, and they are winning the finals of the Euroleague. This is just amazing. What we are seeing is history in the making. The young players just clawed back inch by inch into the game, and this is incredible. They are claiming the title in Istanbul in a fascinating fashion. Olympiacos beat us.
Unbelievable, look at them celebrate. A comeback for the ages, a title that nobody expected. 10 new players on Olympiacos this season, led all the way by Spanoulis. Nobody gave him a chance to make even the playoffs, let alone the Final Four. And here they are winning on the last shot of the entire Euroleague season. George Sinek, you won with an underdog team in 1999. Žalgiris with the coach of CSKA, Jonas Kazauskas. But I don't think there's ever been quite a title like this one, except perhaps 20 years ago this weekend in Istanbul when Partizan won on the last shot as well.
I have never seen anything like it or been associated with. This was so inspirational. If you have a young team like that coming back from 19 points down, I have nothing to say.
I think we should hold the Final Four in Istanbul every year. 20 years ago, the last one, Partizan Belgrade winning with a shot, but Sasha Djordjevic in the same manner. And now it is Georgios Protestis repeating history in Istanbul with the most unexpected champion probably in that 20-year span. Olympiacos beat us. We will come back for the trophy ceremony after we show you our player of the game video about none other than Kostas Papanikolaou. Here is how he became the player of the game. Kostas Papanikolaou head-to-head with Andrei Kirilenko came in and started playing strong. His team struggled a lot. He got some easy points early in the game, but he is a 21-year-old. Look at that dunk he had in the first half. He just kept charging hard, and even when his team was down 19 with 12 minutes to play, he came up with these huge three-pointer right in the face of the MVP, made another and another. Kostas Papanikolaou, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 for 3 from downtown, and 1 steal. He is the player of the game. Let's talk to Kostas Papanikolaou right now.
Incredible game, 18 points, 4 rebounds. How does it feel? I cannot realize what really happened right now. I can't. We was 13 points back, 1 minute to the third quarter, but we say we gotta put our soul inside the game, give everything. It's the last 10 minutes, and at the end of of the coach says 61-62 Olympiacos. I cannot say nothing more.
We were amazed watching you play. We think a star has been born. Papa Nicolau, you were incredible. What was the key moment for you?
This team, these guys is my family. They give me strength, they give me energy, they give me everything. Okay, I scored the first shot, then I got confidence, and everything was easier for me after that. But all the credit should go to all this team, to all these fans that are here tonight and helping us, supporting us. I cannot just say about myself. We bring the team all together here. We won this game all together.
Kosek, we're talking about your offense, but you did a great job on defense. You held Andrei Kirilenko. You got in front of him, took a charge. What is it like going against such a great player like Andrei Kirilenko?
It's very tough to guard him, I can say, because he's a great off-ball cutter. He's a great offensive rebounder. It needs 40 minutes full concentration on him, because even if you forgot yourself for 1 second, he will catch, he will do something, you're going to lose him, and you're going to create something for his team. I tried to be concentrated on him, and thanks God I held my team as much as I could.
Did you ever dream that this could happen? Olympiacos champions of the Euroleague?
The truth is that I have very confidence on this team from the first day, but I never dreamed of something like this. This is the truth. I have to say the truth.
Enjoy it. You deserved it. You guys had an incredible season. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
A star is born. Kostas Papanikolaou leading Olympiacos to the most amazing comeback title, perhaps in European basketball history. Let's now see what was our play of the game in this unbelievable final in Istanbul. And here it is, it had to be. 10 seconds left, Spanoulis makes his move. Goes to Prentice, it's the quick shot that put them ahead for the first time since the early moments of the game, and that is the only time they had to be ahead. Georgios Printezis with his patented one-hander, very quick over the CSKA defense to win the Euroleague title, 61-62, and the Sinan Erdem Arena in Istanbul is rocking. George, take over. My voice is giving way.
I mean, if you look at this is a Cinderella story. This is an incredible story of a team that was on the brink of elimination even in the regular season. Then they went down to the last game against Galatasaray Istanbul in top 16. Then they went on to playoffs against Siena. They disposed of them very easily. Came here, Frank, and they clawed and fought a big battle in the semifinal just to play the most incredible final of any competition I have seen in my life.
First title for Olympiacos since 1997. First title for head coach Dusan Ivkovic since 1997, but could not have been more unexpected, even by them. I asked somebody in the Olympiacos camp yesterday, I said, did anybody expect this to be in the final? And can anybody really say they expected this during the season? And the guy said to me, I'm every day with Vasilis Spanoulis, so that's my answer.
He is the ultimate warrior, the leader of the team, Frank, and I honestly believe this was the payback for his leadership during the whole season.
We are going to take a look at the trophy ceremony as soon as we can hear some voice. 68-and-a-half-year-old Duda Ivkovic becomes the oldest EuroLeague champion as a head coach, or as a player for that matter. He's one of the D's. We said he started coaching in the 70s, George, 5 different decades. He's been a head coach in Europe and has won every major title in European basketball. And now he has his second EuroLeague title, thanks in part to a group of 21-year-olds who he was like a grandfather to this season.
I mean, they just came on the court and played their guts out without any respect or fear of the situation. They were in a deep hole, but they just managed. But who else do you manage it with but the young kids?
Look at this, an unbelievable final game. In the early going, it was all defense. The first quarter barely had any points. It was 10-7, 24-13. CSKA took off in the second quarter, and by the end of the third, we're up 19. And now the other team is celebrating. Olympiacos Piraeus with the most incredible comeback in European basketball history.
Look at that.
Look at the winning, game-winning shot. But think of Spanoulis with the ball and the clock, 10 seconds to win the title. Presence of mind to dish to the open second scorer on the team.
That's the greatness of a player, and Duda Ivkovic said this player can say, can distinguish when to pass and when to shoot.
And we see the very disappointed Andrei Kirilenko and the rest of his team. They played a fantastic season. We have got to give them all the credit they could possibly deserve for taking it all the way down to the last second. But they got ambushed by the same team that ambushed a lot of others and played every second to the finish to win this game. Olympiacos Piraeus.
Frank, truly, I think if you want to give a name to a team, if you want to say a team of destiny, this is it. Olympiacos Piraeus. This is my candidate for the ultimate team of destiny.
It is no exaggeration at all, George, to say that nobody on Olympiacos would have been talking about a title this season until perhaps they walked in the playoffs. And that's when we heard Duda Ivkovic say, at one point in the top 16, the middle round, he said, after game 2 of the middle round, he said, I don't think this team can make it to the playoffs. It would be a miracle.
He said, it would be.
But then he walked into the playoffs when they made it and said, I think we're the favorites.
Exactly. I mean, he was really doing a great job of taking the pressure off his young team. And what I love about what he said is that we had a lot of players. We have players from Europe, we have Greeks, we have Americans, but they all go into one direction, Frank. That's a very strong statement. He said this is a unique team, and he's been coaching many teams.
George, you've been in basketball for a long time. I've been following basketball for more than 30 years. I don't think I've ever seen a team go from small to unbelievably large over the course of a season as this Olympiacos team has done. And it was really, this game was a microcosm of their season. Fighting hard, but not enough in the first quarter. And there's the announcement of the MVP, Vasilis Spanoulis. Who else receiving the MVP trophy from Turkish Airlines Euroleague President Hamdi Topçu, the sponsor of the competition, giving the trophy of the MVP of the Final Four. Second time that Vasilis Spanoulis has won this. First time was with Panathinaikos. He becomes, of course, the first Euroleague champion to play for the two biggest Greek teams. He's got tears in his eyes. Vasilis Spanoulis was a father for the second time just a couple months ago, and he has been, the heart and soul is saying too little for what he has been for this team. Joey Dorsey told me when he got there in the top 16, he was there for 3 games, and Vasilis Spanoulis said to him, don't worry, Joey, you're going to take us to the Final Four. That's the kind of confidence he gave to a guy who just walked on the team in the middle of the season, and he just gave it to everybody, all the young guys, all the newcomers that led this team. That is why he's the MVP of the Final Four, as we see Olympiacos get their trophies one by one. Player of the game tonight, Kostas Papanikolaou. What a effort by him. Pedo Antic, 29 years old, in his first Final Four. He couldn't have been happier just getting into Istanbul. He's walking away a champion with the net around his neck.
What you said, Frank, I mean, Vasilis Spanoulis just never. This is the little big man, Kyle Hines. How much respect do you have for him? I mean, so many big guys he's outplayed, he went against, and he never backed down.
We saw Vangelis Mansaras, who's played defense like a veteran, another 22-year-old. There's Marco Keschel, yet another young guy. AC Law
playing injured today. Playing injured, Frank, don't forget that.
Gave some minutes. There's Brintezis. He made the shot that won it all. Panagiotis Vasilopoulos, injured for the last little while. He's been around trying for this for a long time. Kostas Slukas gets his trophy too, another 22-year-old. Joey Dorsey raising the cup. I'm sorry, 2 guys from Panathinaikos Olympiacos, but this man, Lazaros Papadopoulos, now wins his second trophy as well. And it looks like Duda Ivkovic maybe can't believe it. He said after the semifinal, what a surprise the way his team controlled Barcelona. This, an entirely different kind of game. They made the biggest comeback in European history. And look at the man, 68-and-a-half-year-old Dusan Ivkovic, the Dean of European Coaching, leads a group of strangers and kids to the most amazing Euroleague title in recent memory.
Incredibly inspirational story. What Duda Ivkovic has done during the season, the way he gave confidence to his players, incredible.
All of the players.
Unbelievable story. Duda Ivkovic returning this season to Olympiacos after many years away, coached them to the first title in 1997, and is now, there's Milan Tomic, who won in 1997 and is now an assistant coach. Christos Stavropoulos, one of the executives of Olympiacos, who's been there all along, getting his trophy as well. Just a lot of people who've worked a long time and had the faith and got this team in the last second of the Euroleague season a championship that no one expected. There they are, raising the trophies on the podium. Olympiacos Piraeus going home to the port city of Piraeus, Greece, with the most unexpected trophy in Euroleague history. Euroleague basketball president CEO Jordi Bertomeu carrying it out, giving it to a trio of veterans on that team. Vasilopoulos, Spanoulis, and Protezis. There it goes into the air. The champions of the 2011-2012 Euroleague, Olympiacos Piraeus. They are the champions.
They are deservingly the champions. Amazing stories written to the history of the Euroleague. Look at that. That's a celebration in Piraeus, Greece tonight, all night, Frank.
They are gonna love it down in Greece. They are gonna love it. They love it here in Sinan Erdem Marina in Istanbul, Turkey. They put on a fantastic organization to make this incredible Final Four, a 1-point final, a 4-point semifinal, and a 2-point semifinal. It has to be also the closest Final Four in history. And there you see the result, a 1-point win by Olympiacos Piraeus, beating heavily favored CSKA Moscow after coming back from 19 points down with 12
minutes. That's a 20-point turnaround against CSKA Moscow, who was completely in control.
20-point turnaround after CSKA had held them to just 40 points in the first 3 quarters. Unbelievable. There's no other word for it. This is a dream come true for Olympiacos Piraeus. They believed, whether or not on paper anything was logical about winning this title. This is about faith, this is about leadership, and this is about a team believing in its coach and all its leaders and taking